welcome back to the channel. I'm Chris.
I'm Christy.
It's the Chris and Christy channel. Today we're doing something a little bit different. We're going to be looking at, for those who are survivalists or who are part of, militia groups or survivalist groups, may want to look at different kinds of camouflage that they may want to use for their group, or even people that gets into military simulation and even active duty military units that may still use these. But we're going to be looking at two types of camouflage and its history and whether it would be right for, you, your group, or the use that you're wanting it for. First one is the OCP camo. You see it? This is part of a 2011 contract. It is a combat coat. It's fire resistant and wrinkle resistant. Wind resistant and para-aramid. Woven ripstop, wind resistant. It's got patch pockets. It's a Type 2 class special purpose clothing. And this one is a XL. And one thing about this is it does have the pockets on the arm for your unit patches. Also has the place for the U.S. Army tape or your name tape, or whatever group tape that you might have on your uniform.
No, this is the U.S. Army tape. This is your name tape.
Yeah, on the right side goes the Army. Yeah.
Yes, the right and left goes.
But it seems that the U.S. Army and Air Force is also using this now. It has pockets almost everywhere. It's also got a rank spot right here for your rank. It does have Velcro closures as well as zipper. So you can zip it up and down. It does have this thing here for your neck. So you can close it around your neck up top. Or you can have it, like so. Both sides have pockets on the arms. Also has this night device. So, from what I was told from someone who knew about these, is so they know you're a U.S. troop from the air. Some kind of reflector that helicopters from the air or, ground troops can see your arm and see that you're one of the good guys. It is flame resistant. So if you happen to be in a Humvee or an MRAP that, gets hit or whatnot, you're less likely to get burn injuries. This is just the top part. Got the bottom part too, but just thought just showing you the top of it. I kind of like this camo. I mean, it's neat looking. It's supposed to be able to be used in all different scenarios, like jungle or desert or whatever. It could be used everywhere. Let's see here. I'll look on Wikipedia, see if there's any information about it. Let's see here. Yeah, the operational camouflage pattern. Here we go. It is currently used by the U.S. Air Force, United States Space Force, and United States Army from 2015 to present. But this stuff was developed back in 2011. But they just recently started using it in 2015.
They brought it back, basically.
Yeah, it was originally designed in 2002. The initial pattern. It's been used in the war in Afghanistan and the war in Iraq. Yeah, it says it was rolled out in 2015 and then South Korea. It's pretty neat. It's not been around very long. It replaced the. We're also going to be doing a video on that too. The first two. Before this came out, the first two camouflages, we're going to be looking at the ACU pattern and also the Woodland, which Woodland was replaced by ACU. Yep. And we're also going to be looking at farther back than that, which was the OD green and, you know, other camo patterns that was used during the Vietnam conflict. But this is a very, it's getting cheaper. When this first came out, if you wanted to buy this stuff in the Army surplus stores, it was $100 just to buy the jacket. And it was $100 to buy the pants. So you had to be out $200 just to buy one uniform if you wanted it like surplus. Now it's about $30-something on eBay. Maybe even cheaper than that. You can find it. But, I mean, it's more modern, so if you want your group to look more modern, you know, it seems like a pretty decent idea. Do remember, though, if you're using it for your state militia, remember, do not have U.S. Army put on your name tape. Have, you know, if you're in Kentucky, Indiana, Ohio, Missouri, whatever, have, like, your state tape put on here, and make sure that instead of a U.S. flag, you have your state flag on your shoulder as well, to identify yourself as a state militia instead of, you know, U.S. Army, Marine, whatever. But yeah, I mean, it's a pretty neat jacket. It's warm. One thing I can say for it, it is warm. But I want your ideas between this one and the next one we're going to be showing you.
I have no comment because I never worn that jacket before.
Did your dad ever have that color or no?
I honestly don't remember. It was more like this funky pattern over here. Except it looked kind of like that, but
it was ACU probably. Is it like this one?
Yeah, it's more like that color.
Okay, then he was in ACU.
It was more like a digital camo. It wasn't like anything like that. Maybe his past uniforms was like that, but not this.
Now this is the next pattern. This pattern is the Marpat. It's called Marpat. I still think the Marines stole this idea from the Canadians. Look up something called CADPAT. It's Canadian pattern camo. I still think they took the idea from the Canadians.
Well, technically, the U.S. has been stealing ideas since
World War II.
Since World War II, so.
I mean, where do you think we got the idea for the B-2 bombers and the F-117 stealth? We got it from the Nazis because they had. Just like jet aircraft, we stole the technology from the Germans for stealth and for jet aircraft and rockets.
Not trying to get controversial, but they also stole in the medical care that Mengele discovered, like abortion and stuff.
Yeah.
And,
Joseph Mengele.
Birth controls kind of stuff.
Yeah, it was actually his idea. He developed abortion, modern day abortion. It was originally to forbid Jewish people from being able to procreate.
It. I'm just saying that they stole the idea.
Yeah. But yeah, this here's the Marpat. Now you can get it in different fashions. You can get it with the straight pockets, or you can get it with the diagonal pockets. And if you look really, really close, it's hard to see, but if you look really close, every few blocks you can see the Marine Corps Eagle Globe anchor thing. But yeah, this is currently used by the U.S. Marines. They have their own camouflage pattern. They called it Marpat. It was designed in 2001 and came out in 2005. So they were the first ones to move away from the woodland. Development. They also have a different one as well. They have a desert one as well. This is more woodland Marpat. But they also have desert Marpat as well. This is a pretty neat color. I mean, it blends in good with, light foliage and stuff like that. So, I mean, if you're wearing this in a wooded area, you're pretty safe, I would say. Yeah. But we want to know your guys' feedback. Which one do you think is more better to use in a woodland situation? The new OCP camo or the marine pattern camo, digital camo? Like, we want your input on which one you think is, better for woodland use. I personally think the the Marpat would be a way better option. Desert, I go more towards the OCP pattern. I think they should have stuck with the old Desert Storm camo that they had for desert use. That 6-color desert. I think that was a really neat one. But it's used a lot now in like Iraq, Iran, and the sand.
Yeah, but the thing is,
places.
like, we live in North America, so there's a lot of woodland and like tree coverage. So I'd go for more woodland colors than desert. If you want my advice,
yeah, I mean, if you're
make sure that you get wooded woodland camo.
Yeah, for North America and South America.
Desert camo.
I say you're gonna blend in better in North America with a Marpat or a woodland camo than you will
just basically
like ACU.
Use the same stuff that you would use for hunting as you would for war.
Yeah, because
basically that's
you want to stay camouflaged. And yeah, we're gonna be going through different camo patterns and their usefulness in either, like, if you live out in Arizona or New Mexico or South California, then I would say probably lean toward the OCP pattern, or maybe even the old 3-color desert pattern, or even the DPM pattern that the Brits used way back in the day. Well, not the woodland DPM, but the desert DPM would probably be more suffice in a desert area. And if you're in a city area like Detroit or, something like that where you're in an urban area, then I say one thing that would probably work is the old ACU. I think that would work great because it looks like concrete.
What?
It's like gray and like that right here. It's like gray. I mean that would work good in a concrete area where there's built like buildings and stuff like that. I think the ACU stuff would be better for urban.
Well, I mean, this is the thing. I mean, if there was a war going on here, like the Civil War or whatever, they try to keep it in like flat land, basically. Like if you're in like the mountains or like in like major cities up north, you probably wouldn't have anything to worry about war-wise. But if you're like living on flat land, like in Indiana or something, I'd have something to worry about, or the plains.
Yeah, like if you're out in Iowa or Idaho or... Well, I mean, some parts of Idaho is pretty mountainous.
Because no one's going to have a war in the mountains, because look at Vietnam. That didn't go very well.
Yeah, it's useless. Even look at, Afghanistan. We've been in Afghanistan since 2001. We've been there, it's been 20 years of fighting. You can't win against people like that. That's their homeland. It would be like trying to come over here and attack us. This is our homeland. We know this land. I mean, as much as I hate saying it, because I really respect the guys who fought in Vietnam. I mean, those guys didn't have hardly any body armor or nothing. I mean, those guys fought like hell. But I mean, you've seen what happened with Vietnam. I mean, we were fighting against these little short shits and black PJs with Vietnamese hats on, and fighting with old World War II rifles, and they still put up a heck of a fight. I mean, if General Moore was still alive, God rest his soul, he could tell you, when he was in the La Trang Valley fighting against the Vietnamese with the cavalry, the air cav, they kept coming out of the mountains like ants. I mean, they kept coming. And he was up against like a whole, I think it was an NVA regiment maybe, or a division. I mean, he only had a battalion, and he was up against like a whole NVA division. So I mean, that's a lot of men he was up against, and I mean.
All right, let's just focus on the camo.
But yeah, we're gonna be going into their camo too. I love the Vietnam era camo. That would be a good option too. But we're getting that into a next video. But we want your thoughts and opinions on which camo you think is better. If you're a veteran and you've had use of this camo, what's the pros and cons to it? Like, what's the good, what's the bad? What did you like about it and what did you not like about it? And we just want to have a good discussion on, its combat effectiveness. Not advocating for, any stolen valor or anything like that. That's why I say, it's important if you're using this for a state militia use, then make sure that you're not identified as a U.S. military soldier. Make sure you have, your state flag, you've got your state name tape, and above it you could even have, your unit name.
I forgot what I was even going to tell them.
But, let us know your good or bad use of these two camo patterns. But
like I said, I'd advocate for for the woodland pattern because I like that one best. The
Yeah, I kinda
desert
like it,
camo is too light for the kind of shades that we have around here, and the concrete is just not going to blend in very good in the woods. So I'd go for woodland. I already know I've already said that, but it is true. And what else was I even gonna say? Jeez,
Just tired.
I'm tired. I forgot what I was even gonna say. I'm getting old.
Let us know, and we're gonna try to cut the video a little bit short. But tomorrow we're gonna be doing some more camo, so you can let us know what you think. We want you guys to stay safe, stay armed, and also we want to thank everybody for subscribing. We've met 1,000 subscribers in less than 2 months' time. So we want to thank everybody out there, and yeah, we're moving on to more better things with with YouTube. So thanks for everything, and keep subscribing, keep sharing, getting us out there. The Second Amendment community really needs a lot of support. The Patriot movement. And we'll see you guys next time. God bless you all. And God bless America.
Bye.
Bye.